Hello, welcome to this broadcast. This taste challenge. I was just on and something happened. Yeah, you're saying what happened? I don't know. Something happened and I couldn't get back into it, so I had to restart it. So, hey, sorry about that, folks. Good thing I didn't get into the tasting part. Here's Jose Cuervo Especial Blue Agave, the number one selling tequila in the world. Um, I've got a good deal on this big bottle, and it's a mixto. These are both mixtos. They're 40% alcohol. They're mixed, mostly agave, but they use filler. And yes, my daughter is very sweet. We had a good time. And but they're not 100% pure agave. Jose Cuervo is from 1800. I know it says 1795. That's when they got the license to start distilling. And but I think the actual first product didn't hit the market till 1800. So you can find this at every liquor store in America, obviously, or probably in the world. So yeah, we don't want any more failures. So let's bring up the websites again and try to avoid any crashes. All right, so here's Bandolero Gold, barely gold. India to London flight crash. Yeah, I'm sure the visuals are terrible. I don't want to see any kind of thing like that. But anyway, let's stick to the topic. I'm sorry that happened. You know, it's terrible, but people bring up all kind of topics like, what do you think about Pakistan, and what do you think about the Falkland Islands, or do you ever use this kind of umbrella? It's very interesting to some people, but it's not really the topic. Yeah, because the last thing I said was that I was shocked to see natural light in bottles because, like I was saying, in Texas, I had never seen bottled natural light. We have always gotten cans, right? So we do basically only get cans here. All right. So I did pour these already. I didn't expect the broadcast to crash. You can see that the Bandolero is very pale. Means they call it gold, but it's more like clear, right? But there's a gold tinge to it. Now this one is not really that gold either. To Cuervo isn't exactly deep gold, but it's light. Well, they said on the website light gold. Okay, so I'll put this up here. Sorry, we had that little technical problem, but can't control it if it fails, you know. Uh, I imagine the impact would be terrible. But anyway, going to stick to the topic. Cuervo Gold is the world's number one tequila brand. Joven. It's young because it's young mixed with reposado, but it's probably mostly young. Hints of oak and vanilla. Taste and notes. Aroma sweet with pleasant agave notes. The taste is sweet, subtle agave, hint of oak and vanilla. Well balanced, short and smooth. And then there's like 1,000,001 recipes to make with it, which is what mostly people buy it with. People buy Jose Cuervo mainly to make cocktails, but I mean, you could sip it neat like I'm doing tonight, but I don't suppose too many people are doing that. Here's Bandolero Gold, introduced in 1987, produced for the Albertsons companies. Now, the trademark holder is Safeway. I'm showing Safeway grocery store, but Safeway is owned by Albertsons. So if Safeway owns the trademark and Albertsons owns Safeway, then common sense would tell you that Albertsons owns the trademark indirectly, but really kind of directly. Okay. Now, you'll see all the different store chains that they own. Acme, Albertsons itself, Albertsons Market, that must be more like a gourmet. Amigos, Andronico's community markets, Balducci's, Cars, Hagen, Jewel Osco, King's, Lucky, Market Street, Pavilions, Randall's, Safeway, Shaw's, Star, Tom Thumb, United Express, United Supermarkets, and Bonds. So big company, big company. The only one I ever see in Louisiana is Albertsons itself. I don't recall seeing any of these other companies, honestly. But they kind of sell the same stuff, more or less. All right, so I got to close my eyes now, because if I open my eyes, I'll super pale appearance, and I'm going to know it's the Bandolero, okay? Okay, so broadcast, don't crash. I don't want to restart it again. I ain't restarting it again. I'll just wait till tomorrow after. Okay. That has some richness to it, some agave, some blandness though, but it's, you notice I said it has some richness. I didn't say it was particularly rich. This has a peppery note, but there's not a whole lot happening. Now you could see what I can't, eyes are closed, so you could see which one's super pale. So whatever one's super pale is the Bandolero. See, I can't see it. I have to guess. Taste time. Okay. They're saying a hint of oak. To me, it's more than a hint. It's kind of strong. The oakiness is pretty strong. I don't know what they're talking about, a hint of oak. And you get that vegetable agave nectar, a little pepperiness, medium body, dry finish. Over here, cheers. Pepper. Now, I'll say this about Bandolero. It's improved as it's aerated. When I first popped open the bottle, man, nothing was happening. Nothing was happening. It tasted mostly like water. It was pretty bad. I mean, it was still a C, but a C is no better than an F when you think about it, because, I mean, yeah, you could drink. I didn't peek. I had to see with a glass, but I didn't want to knock it off the desk. Who's going to buy a C? You tell somebody, well, it's okay. Nobody wants to buy that. How'd you like that whiskey? Well, it was okay. That's telling me don't buy it. So it may as well be an F, undrinkable. So in a practical sense, a C is an F. It's a failure. You know, in a technical sense, okay, it's sort of okay. You could choke it down, but who would want to? That's the answer. Now, a D would be just terrible. You can drink it with effort. It's just terrible. And then an F, you couldn't drink it. You'd be ill. I've never bought a F with liquor before, but I guess one day that could happen. I don't think it will. So that's the key to Bandolero. All you got to do is drink the first 30% and suffer through it. And then as it gets air in it, it'll start tasting all right. People say, well, who's going to do that? I don't know. Nobody, I'm sure. But it's pretty popular. That's the funny thing about Bandolero. It's very popular in the low budget segment of the tequila world, because Albertsons has stores all over the United States. And any of them that sell liquor, which is a whole lot of them, they'll stock this Bandolero. And I read reviews and people are like, oh yeah, I like it. It's as good as Cuervo and it's cheap. And I'm thinking, no, it's cheap, but I don't think it's good as Jose Cuervo. But you can convince yourself of that because you want to save the money. I get it, but I only paid $5.98. I paid $5.98 for this not at Albertsons either, at an independent liquor store called Star. Now, how did they get it if it's supposed to belong to Albertsons? I think what happens is if they get overstocked and they want to release some of it, they'll sign off to the distributor and say, let those private companies have it for this shipment. Give them a deal, they'll buy it. And they buy it. And that's why I got it for $5.98. Now the Cuervo is like $31.99, but makes sense. Look at this huge bottle. Glass too, not plastic. That's glass too, but if you get the big bottle, it's plastic, yes. Do I like this flavor? I don't hate it. I don't know what the flavoring would be. I mean, that's a mystery. I mean, like, what would the flavoring be? Doesn't really taste like vanilla has been added or anything, but I don't know. They're never going to tell you, so you could speculate, drive yourself crazy over it. This has a much deeper flavor. It has a peppery note, like black pepper. It has this agave nectar. Now, yeah, it's got filler. I don't know what the 49%, or it could be less than that, but it no higher than 49%. Is it like sugarcane vodka or grain spirits or something? I don't know. They don't have to put it on the label, so you're never going to know. You might research somewhere, what does Jose Cuervo use as their filler? I don't know. I really don't know. I'll probably never be motivated enough to look it up. But then this just be speculation. It'll never be anything official because they're not going to tell you. Somebody might say, well, I got a friend who works for them. And he says, okay, who's your friend? Oh, he can't say. I know, because that's why you can't back it up. It's also medium bodied. Has a dry finish, but it's tangy. There's a tanginess to it, a succulence. So I think this is the Cuervo Gold. And a lot of people rag on Cuervo Gold, talking about how it's trash, it's garbage, I hate it, nobody likes it. I know nobody likes it. That's why it's #1 in the world, because nobody likes it. I wouldn't give it, I hear people saying outrageous things. Well, actually, I don't hear too many people saying outrageous things. A few people. Mostly I just see people buying it. Why you think Walmart's got it in stock around here all day long? And Winn-Dixie, and Mathern's, and Cash Saver. Well, you know the answer. Okay. No, I have never seen Bandolero in this town. I probably never will see Bandolero in this town. And furthermore, I don't care if I ever see Bandolero in this town. And I will never buy Bandolero again in this town or any other town. I would theoretically buy Cuervo Gold just as a baseline tequila, a baseline for tastings. But this big bottle, it looks like it's going to last me a lifetime. It just seems that way, so I don't guess I'll need to. So I'm going to say this is Bandolero. Not a terrible product, but I wouldn't go on a hunt for it. It's Bandolero, all right. Now the comments. Good evening, Ron says. Alex, cheers, y'all. Cheers to you. Herbie says the flight, still on the flight. Still talking about the plane, but I said we'd talk about the tequila. Now, I might get on a YouTube video about shampoo, and then the subject of sandals, and keep talking about sandals and flip-flops, and the host might be like, well, this is a shampoo video. Yeah, but my uncle had sandals. It's like, not related. Okay, not related to the topic. Anyway, was this a pretty easy victory for Jose Cuervo Gold, Especial Gold? It was not quite as easy as I had expected. I thought it would be a sure shot runaway without any question at any point in the video. I didn't expect the video to get crashed and then I had to restart it, but that's something that can happen on the internet, you know. But I mean, it happens on regular television. But I am impressed in a sense that it did take a little bit of effort to get the Cuervo correct. Although as I kept sipping on it, I realized I would not get it wrong. But so would I recommend Bandolero? I would recommend it if you had a perverse sense of humor and you like to intentionally try things that are underwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Like you say, it was quaint. That product is quaint because they call it gold, but it's like mostly clear. Although there is a tinge of gold to it, I'll admit. No coloring added either. This is what it looks like when it's basically unaged and there's no coloring added, but there's flavoring added of some crazy type. I mean, Cuervo is worth it. I'm sipping the Cuervo. I think it's worth it. I'm not amazed by it. I don't think it's incredible. I don't think it's like, oh, I can't get over it. It's so great. It's Cuervo Gold. I'm not like that. I'm not in awe of it at all. On the other hand, to me, it's smooth, it's nice, it's mellow, it's enjoyable. And that might get me kicked out of the hoity-toity, poloi polloi, whiskey review, liquor review channels. Well, so be it, because I'm not going to sit up here and talk about how terrible it is, just so I could fit in and be like the cool kids, because they always fit. And no, I'm just saying it's all right. It's a nice product. I mean, after all, it has been on the market for over 200 years. But like I said, it's not amazing. It's all right. Bandolero, well, I mean, I paid $5.98. I don't take issue with that. If I had paid $6.98, I might be angry right now. So think about it along those lines. JC Gold is better. Oh, Jose Cuervo Gold, yeah, clearly better. Clearly better. The scores, I think, at the time of this tasting, these things can change. They're subject to change, with other taste challenges. And I think as the air gets in them, it changes the product. I really think Bandolero has changed with just that aeration. Now, you see I've done 25% of it. So I think the oxygenation has actually improved it. But Cuervo Gold, Especial Gold, I guess I give it about a B. It's good, but I mean, a lot of stuff's good. So 8.7, 8.7 out of 10. It's good, but it's good for this big bottle. I mean, could you find another tequila in a huge bottle like this that would be just as good? Probably. We're talking about for the same price. For the same price, $31.99. Probably not. So for inexpensive, premium price, which means regular price, tequila, yeah, it's fine. It's right there. Maybe it's the best premium price tequila. Now, it's a super budget brand, Bandolero, and let's emphasize the word super. A very budget brand, worth it. Yeah, as a very budget brand. Like I say, I paid $5.98. And for $5.98, I don't have a problem with it. And I had that feeling, like when I bought it, I had an impression in my mind. I said, well, I think this is going to be very, very not interesting. And it has been very not interesting. Well, it has been interesting in a backwards way because then you start thinking like, well, why would they make something so watery and bland and then people buy it? But I guess it's like I say, backwards thinking. Ronald, are you going on the lookout for Bush Lime? Hector, I will not be on the lookout for Bush Light Lime, but if I see let's say a 25-ounce can, I'll buy it. Definitely buy it. I'm not buying it. If I see the 30 pack, I'm not buying it. I saw a 30 pack of Bush Light Apple at Winn-Dixie. 30. I said, well, I don't think the price is that good because Winn-Dixie tends to become pricey. B, even if it was cheap, I still wouldn't buy it because I don't want to have to drink 29 more cans of it. You see, I've had the Bush Light Apple anyway. Somebody sent it to me. Secondly, I know what an apple tastes like, a red apple. I know what Bush Light tastes like. So if you want to get techno, I could just go to the grocery store and buy a single red apple and then get Bush Light, which is pretty cheap. Used to be a lot cheaper, but I could eat the apple, drink the Bush Light. Eat another piece of the apple, drink the Bush Light, and so forth. And it would probably taste very similar to Bush Light apple itself. There's only one little problem. I kind of like Bush Light, although my daughter said Saturday that to her, things like Bush Light with the corn syrup taste like corn chip beer. She does not buy them. She does not like them. She does not want to drink them. I said, I remember when you said that, like in 2013. I'm not that picky. I think it's all right, but that's her opinion. You're paying money, you buy what you want, right? But second problem, I don't really like apples. I don't like any kind of fruit. So I would not want to drink. I would want to drink the beer, but I would not want to eat the fruit. So, it's just like, let's see what it tastes like. Bush Light peach, same thing. I would eat a peach, but I wouldn't really want to eat a peach. I would drink Bush Light, which I would sort of want to drink that. But then I would have to eat the peach. I don't like fruit. They're too sweet. They're too sugary. I don't like them. Although I have eaten peaches, mangoes, cantaloupes. I do kind of like cantaloupe more than the rest because they have a little bit more enjoyable flavor. Grapefruit, oranges, nectarines, tangerine. I don't want to. If I never ate another fruit for the rest of my life, I would be happy. Bananas I like, but they're more like a starch than a fruit. Like, a banana is like more starch. So yeah. But say you might be watching the video and say, I love fruit. I love fruit. If you don't like fruit, you're a fruit. And I'm unanimous in that, aggressive, and I'm militant about it. Well, okay, then go eat a fruit tree. I just don't like it. I like wine because it has that, much different fermented flavor, That's why Jesus turned water into wine, right? If you read the Gospels, Jesus turned water into wine. He didn't turn water into apple juice or grape juice. No, I'm not reading that comment. You're hung up on airplane. Okay, Burley Sullivan says, "You." Cheers back to you, Burley. Shane Fudge in Arkansas. Hello, Shane. If you like apple juice, then the Bush Light Apple is a decent summer beer. Doesn't really taste like beer, though. Even more of a reason that I would not want to drink it. I like beer because I kind of like grain. I do like grains, cereal grains, and I like vegetables, like if I'm eating avocado or something, green beans or spinach, whatever. Just fruit does not appeal to me. This is me speaking. I don't dictate what other people should eat. So anytime I find a liquor that's like Crown Royal apple, Crown Royal blackberry, rich and rare apple, Captain Morgan sliced apple, I'm like, oh, yay. I don't like the fruit flavors. I don't hate them. I do not reach for them. Now, if they had Crown Royal avocado or Crown Royal tomato, which some people say, well, that's a berry, that's a fruit. Yeah, but nobody considers that. But okay, scientifically, okay. Or if they had Crown Royal green bean or Crown Royal olive or Crown Royal spinach, Crown Royal mustard green flavor, Crown Royal collard green flavor, Crown Royal white potato, red potato, russet potato. I would actually probably like those. Crown Royal carrot, Crown Royal beets, Crown Royal string beans, Crown Royal eggplant. I don't like eggplant. I don't know, some sliminess, but I do like okra. And it's kind of slimy. Crown Royal okra. I would like that. So see, that's my preference. But then most consumers would say, oh, it's disgusting. I would never, never, never try that. But see, I would try it. I saw this breakfast cereal on the shelves in a store recently. Cheerios vegetable flavor. Now, they got Cheerios honey nut oat, Cheerios vanilla, Cheerios. I'm saying cherry, but it's Cheerios, not cherry. Cheerios. Frosted. Oh, there's all kind of Cheerios now. Blueberry, I think. But now, General Mills has put out Cheerios vegetable flavor. And I was looking at that in the lettuce, cabbage, carrots, bell pepper, onion. Now that would be an interesting breakfast cereal. I never bought it, but because the price is outrageous. But I thought, that would be something I would like. All right. Anyway, enough of that. Cuervo, Jose Cuervo is the obvious winner, but then everybody watching this video would be like, duh. All people know that Cuervo would obviously defeat Bandolero. You have to say yes and no with that, though, because there are some non-ubiquitous, like there's some tequilas that just people don't know about because they're not common, but in some like maybe insular way. But you can't write them all off because some of them are really good. Like they're like, oh, I never heard of this brand. This is some obscure brand. And then you try it and it's clearly much better than Cuervo. But it's just like a shot in the dark. Like you take an arrow and you shoot it. Well, you see what you hit. You don't know. So that is kind of the adventure in it. That is the adventure in it. So I bought the Bandolero. Didn't expect much. Didn't get much. But now the next obscure product I buy might overwhelm Cuervo. I don't know. I bought this strange thing bottled in Houston, Texas, or at least imported through Houston, Texas. Don't know if it's any good. Don't know if there's any videos, but I got a good deal, so I bought it. What was the price for this huge handle? Oh, I don't know. It was I think it was $9.99. It was some crazy price. Like I literally would have never bought this product. All right. But the price was so incredibly low. I was like, $9.99 for this huge thing of tequila? Yeah, I'll buy it. What the heck? So if it's terrible, no loss, But I mean, generally the the the, the quality will follow the price. Generally, the quality will follow the price, but not always. It's not 100% attachment. So there's a congruence, but it's not 100%. All right. So Bandolero, well, you just keep getting beat. Why are you calling me? Well, let me see who's calling, and I got to get out of here. Go and watch the baseball game. So take care. And tomorrow morning, I've got a challenge that will definitely not be challenging. Jose Cuervo Tradicional Gold, Tradicional. So there's no chance. Bandolero's got no chance. And then we'll be moving on to Mezcal. And oh, well, you know, Mezcal is always an adventure. It's an adventure. I like tequila and and everything it entails, but then Mezcal is like you're taking it to the next level. So yeah, that's going to be an awesome taste challenge series. All right, y'all take care now. Bye bye.